It's time for a new season of the Bass Pro Shops Collegiate Bass Fishing Series. Stop 1 takes us to Ridgeland, Mississippi and Barnett Reservoir for the Barnett Reservoir Rumble. We're here during early April, which means the fish are up shallow and ready to bite.
It's going to be a good bite out here. I'm excited. I think the spawns, it's definitely during the spawn.
We like the style of fishing. It suits our style of fishing, power fishing, up shallow, fishing grass and stuff like that. Like the way we like to fish.
Here we go.
Right. Couldn't really do anything with that one.
Yeah.
Let's go. Number 2.
The event is a 2-day competition comprised of hundreds of the top collegiate anglers in the nation. The Association of Collegiate Anglers' first stop will pay out tens of thousands of dollars in prizes and contingencies, as well as double points to count toward the Bass Pro Shops School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia.
First place, Bethel University, Levi and Matthew, 15-11 on day 1, Barnett Reservoir Rumble. It's going to put you in second, 14-37. That's pretty good. We'll see where that puts you. That's 13.96 on the day. That slides you guys all the way up to third.
Who can separate from the pack here on day 1 and set themselves up for a shot at the title on day 2? Find out next.
Boat on! Woo! How about that one?
That's our new leaders right there. University of Montevallo, 24.96. National champions, Wallace State, Briar and Clinton. Welcome out to Ridgeland, Mississippi and Barnett Reservoir for the Barnett Reservoir Rumble. This is the first stop of the season on the Bass Pro Shops Collegiate Bass Fishing Series, and anglers are eager to take to the water and compete in this major collegiate fishing event.
Yeah, you know, we got here on Wednesday. It's really warm. We had a really warm night. Fish were biting that day, but since we've had some cold nights and it's kind of shut them down, but there's still a few out there to get caught.
This event marks the first time that the Association of Collegiate Anglers has contested a tournament on Barnett Reservoir. The fishery, situated in Ridgeland, Mississippi along the Pearl River, offers a wide variety of shallow cover including wood, rocks, vegetation, and docks. All of those types of cover will be in play here this week.
Like the water temp right now, it's mid-60s and getting up almost 70 degrees, and then you got a lot of current, so it sets them up in the breaks and stuff. It makes them a little more predictable even when it's tough like this. You can kind of pinpoint them a little better. But
go to areas where there's not current, not blown out. You can find backwaters up the river, and you can find some art where the wind hasn't hit it and blown it out. I mean, you can go on the lake right now and probably fish every rock and catch you a small limit off of just rocks and riprap that's not blown out from waves hitting spawning grass.
The field of hundreds of elite college anglers representing dozens of the top schools in the country will be competing for tens of thousands of dollars in prizes and contingencies, as well as double points towards the Bass Pro Shops School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia. The Barnett Reservoir Rumble is a key event in the chase to be ranked number 1, as it is the second to last double points event of the season before the ACA Championship next May.
We're currently in first, which we have a lot of people on our team. Some people are catching them, some people are not. I mean, that's just how it always goes, which hopefully if somebody doesn't catch them here, somebody else will keep them do good.
It's great. Like, it's nice to be on top, but it's also we got a bunch of people behind us looking in, so got to stay on the gas.
Here's a quick look at the standings in the Bass Pro Shops School of the Year presented by Abu Garcia entering this event. The University of Montevallo is in first place with a 600-point lead over second. In that second spot sits Auburn University with 12,500 points, and rounding out the top 3 is Carson Newman University, just over 1,500 points behind second.
All right, as you may know, Auburn University is ranked second right now in School of the Year. We're about 600 points behind Montevallo, so our goal this week is to make up some ground. It's a double points event, probably our most important event outside of the championship left in the season. So it's pretty much make or break it this week here.
I think we're in third. Obviously, to still win, we're going to need to catch them really, really good. But
hopefully we can get some good finishes here and try and catch second.
Yep, so we're in 5th place for school of the year right now. We really need a good event here to kind of make up the points gap. You know, I think Montevallo's in the lead, or McKendree. They got a pretty good lead on us, but you know, it's fishing. Anything can happen. This is a double points event. If you go out here and have a great event, we can close the gap really, really fast.
To fishermen and other liars, the time you spent on the docks, the banks, the boats, the lines you cast, and the hooks you set. These moments you share with the people you love, the fish you never forget, and the tales that get taller with every retelling. Make memories that'll last a lifetime with Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here.
When there's miles of water in front of you and hundreds of feet below, you need a boat with the chops to dominate, no matter the conditions. With the strength and technology to overcome the elements and the competition. Ranger Boats, still building legends, one at a time.
You have a full-time job and you want to be a full-time angler. Don't waste time scouting. You want to catch fish. That's where Garmin comes in. Our mapping with Navionics data lets you see more detail than the fish do. It's kind of a big deal. Oh, and our industry-leading live sonar is so crisp and clear you'll think you jumped in. You're welcome. Now, if only we had a powerful, efficient, whisper-quiet trolling motor. Actually, we do. It's called Force. We knew you'd like that. Less time finding, more time catching fish. Only with Garmin.
Welcome back to this episode of the Bass Pro Shops Collegiate Bass Fishing Series and coverage of the Barnett Reservoir Rumble. Let's go out on the water now to see all of the fish catching action.
That's all that weight training we do on the Auburn Bass team. How big do they have to be? 14 inches. 14? Yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna keep. Hold on.
Oh, that one's gotta be 14 inches.
He's short. That's definitely 14. Yeah. 15 and a half. Yeah, that's our first one. It's probably what do you think? 2 pounds?
2 pounder, yeah. I mean,
probably a 2 pounder.
Can't catch 5 unless you catch the first one, so.
That's right. We're on the board.
Piece by piece.
It's 7:48. We're weighing in at 3. We've got plenty of time to figure something out.
I thought it was weird.
From James and Jacob, representing top-ranked Montevallo, we go now and check in with third-ranked Carson Newman University.
I said especially like on a lake like this where it's really shallow and stumpy, you want to have a hydraulic jack plant. That way you can run in a little bit shallow water.
Get your motor up up higher. That way you don't risk hitting anything. Oh yeah, I use them a whole lot. Whenever, I mean, it doesn't matter whether it's pulling your boat up on the bank. No, couldn't really do anything with that one. But yeah, use them all the time. Whenever, no matter whether it's pulling your boat on the bank to go get the truck or catching a fish. I mean, I think.
Is there one in there?
They should be in there. Just throw one on him.
Do what? That one's right under the boat. That one's right under the boat, barely. Yes, sir. We got to her pretty early this morning. Not quite the size we want, but to start.
Let's check back in now with Robert Carson representing second-ranked Auburn University as they have one fish in the box.
It's April, so you gotta figure there's gonna be some rain in the forecast some days, and then you never know with these. It could be a super cold morning and hot afternoon. That's just kind of how it is sometimes. So we're just trying to make the most of it. We had a lot of rain this week, so it definitely played a factor into how this lake's setting up, because it is a reservoir off a river, off the Pearl River, so it's pushing a lot of water through, all the water that's come down from Mississippi, and I don't know what else this funnels down from, but there's a lot of water just being moved out in this area, so we're trying to target the more protected areas that were less affected by the storms and set up a little bit better for a little bit cleaner water.
$14.
14?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Number 2.
We're going to take a short break. On the other side, we continue to bring you on-the-water action from Barnett Reservoir in Ridgeland, Mississippi. Keep it tuned here for more coverage of the Bass Pro Shops Collegiate Bass Fishing Series.
Reliability. Yamaha is known for it. And it's something boaters value, because these days, few things are built to last. When we find something that is, we hold on to friendships, traditions, outboards, because every second on the water is sacred. If you count on having this time, you need an outboard you can count on to power it. That's why boaters choose Yamaha for the long run, for life, because reliability starts here.
Thought I had enough fuel, but I didn't. Now you go to start the engine and you get that click, click, click.
When you're out on the water, you never know when you might encounter a breakdown or mechanical failure. But with a BoatUS membership, worry no more. Membership provides you with on-the-water towing services, fuel delivery, and more. Anywhere, anytime that you need assistance.
We're here to come to their rescue.
Go online today to BoatUS.com to find out more information. BoatUS, we're with you on the water.
Understand the fish, design the bait. No, redesign it. Trim this, add that. Definitely more of that. Perfect. Will they smash it? Smashing it and holding it. That's how we do it. That's the formulas. Tweak the colors. Make it sing. Make it dance. Optimize design for that lateral line. All with a single track mind for getting hit, staying bit, ripping lips, for making any fish your fish. That's our science. Berkeley science, baby.
Day 1 action for the Barnett Reservoir Rumble is starting to heat up as temperatures warm and this field of elite college anglers dials in on a pattern. We go back out on the water now to cover the remaining hours of tournament competition.
Feels weird having one of these big college tournaments on your home lake, seeing all these same boats that you go all over the country with on my home lake. But yeah, I feel like I have a good upper hand because it is my home lake, but it's been tough today. So I know it's going to be challenging for everybody else, but I still think it's going to take a pretty big sack today to take the lead. I'm thinking at least 17 pounds is going to take the lead, so we got some work to do. I hope he keeps. I don't know if he's going to make it. Oh, buddy, but he does. 14 and a half.
From local angler Garrett McWilliams, representing Hines Community College, let's move on over to another team from second-ranked Auburn.
There you go. Get the net. Get the net. Get the net.
We started right here close to the ramp, and more boats back here than we expected, but that's part of it. And I don't think we might keep. Yeah, we've been back here. We got 3 small ones right now, or possibly 3. Nope, not 3. But yeah, we're gonna keep plugging away.
From one Montevallo team to another, we leave Jacob and James to join Merritt and Chance as they are off to a great start on day 1.
That's what I'm talking about.
Been a pretty all right day. It started off a little slow, but we managed to scrap up a couple small ones and then ended up running into a pretty good one. So we just caught one about 3 pounds maybe to cull a little bit. So I don't know how much we had. We had 11 pounds before that one we just caught. So I don't know how much we got now, but we're just going to try and pluck away and cull as much as we can, I reckon. Throwing around some moving baits, but we've only been getting bit, slowing down, and just really taking our time going around you know, some of these marinas, and a lot of these fish seems like they've been suspended on some of these poles, and it's just here and there, just running into one. We're just waiting for that big bite.
The fish are biting well here on day 1, and we rejoin the School of the Year leaders as they set the hook on another fish.
Give me one. Close. Yeah, I don't think he will. No one thing. It's hooked pretty good at the top of the mouth. Huh? I bet you should. You measure? Yeah. There you go.
Go!
I check in about 3 o'clock, and we got that limit around 11, 11:30, something like that. So we still got plenty of time to catch a big one. And this is the warmest water temperature I've seen all day. It's 62 degrees. So I definitely don't think it's over with, and I think a big fish is very likely to happen. I'm not saying it will, but I'm saying it's a good chance. It's a better chance than it was this morning. I for sure believe that. So we're just gonna stick with it and see what we can do. That's a good one. Ah, come here. Yeah. Ah, that's a good one right there, buddy. Makes number 5 right there. It's a good one.
We've reached our final break in this episode. Coming up next, we return back to Madison Landing in Ridgeland, Mississippi for day 1 weigh-in at the Barnett Reservoir Rumble. Don't go away.
I've made my living on the water for over 20 years.
For 14 years.
For over 23 years.
I've worn a bunch of different clothing brands over the years.
Some companies big and some companies small. All of them said they were making clothing for us.
But none of them knew us.
None of them were us. Except for one.
Except for one.
Except one. AFCO. AFCO.
AFCO. AFCO.
Fishing isn't part of us. It is us.
TH Marine has been producing top-of-the-line marine accessories to rig boats from transom to trolling motor for decades. From jack plates to fish care to LEDs, TH Marine has you covered. TH Marine, outfitting your boat from transom to trolling motor.
born in Japan. Using technology, innovation, and precision, Sunline produces the widest selection of fishing lines at the most technologically advanced line factory in the world. Manufactured at the strictest tolerances to produce victories at the highest levels of tournament bass fishing. From household names like Christie, Swindle, and Cruz to young guns like Cook, Logan, New, and Welcher, they all trust Sunline to take them to the top of the leaderboard. Choose the line that will give you the strength to guarantee your confidence. Sunline.
Well, we are here to welcome the Collegiate Bass Tournament here to the city of Ridgeland, right here at Madison Landing, that's right behind us, to the Barnett Reservoir, which is one of the major lakes here in the state of Mississippi.
The playing field for this week's event, Barnett Reservoir, is a 33,000-acre impoundment along the Pearl River in Mississippi, completed in 1965 and featuring 105 miles of shoreline. The Res, as the locals call it, offers all sorts of cover for anglers to fish their strengths and get bites.
It's a fun lake. It's definitely very unique. I haven't been anywhere else in the country that's quite like this lake.
The host site for the Barnett Reservoir Rumble is the city of Ridgeland, Mississippi. Located on the shores of Barnett Reservoir, Ridgeland offers great shopping, restaurants, and sites to explore while you're in town.
The city of Ridgeland, what I love about the city of Ridgeland, especially around the water, it's a beautiful view just from the water. But once you leave the water, we have great steak restaurants, we have fine dining, we have upscale coffee shops, and we have great hotels, where a lot of times when you go to a lake, you just have surrounding areas of cabins. And you know, we are very proudful of our fishing area that we have here, that we're able to bring the whole family to the area, and there's a lot for the family to do here.
We go out now to Madison Landing in Ridgeland, Mississippi for day one weigh-in of the Barnett Reservoir Rumble.
13:02, new leaders, first place. That's pretty good. We'll see where that puts you. That's 13:96 on the day. That slides you guys all the way up to third.
We kind of stumbled on something that we're going to use to our advantage tomorrow and go back through some of the old areas and fish some new water behind some people, because we fished behind 3 boats and caught 3 of our fish behind 3 boats.
Bethel University, Levi and Matthew. They've got 5. They need 13:22 to take the lead. Do you want to weigh a big fish in there when we're done? They're going to want to try a big fish. Y'all going to take over first place? Be close, almost by 2 pounds. You're going to take the lead. It's going to lock in at 15:11. New leaders right there, Bethel University.
Levi Mullins and Matthew Cummings from 17th ranked Bethel University take the lead with a 5 bass limit weighing 15.11 pounds.
It's spring and water's warming up, so they're on the bank, and we're just fishing the cover that they've been sitting in, and we found in practice.
Yeah, we went around in practice. We caught some first day on frogs and swim jigs and stuff like that. The next 2 days, I mean, it's slowed down every day. Went out there today, flipped around, and caught 15:11.
A couple more anglers from Montevallo making their way up here in just a moment. They do have 5, Merritt and Chance. Want to see one of our camera crews maybe checked in with them at one point today. Need 15:12 to take the lead. I think 13.5 to get away from the rest of the pack. Not going to take the lead. It's going to put you in second, 14:37.
Merritt Arnold and Chance Schwartz from number 1 ranked University of Montevallo bring in 14.37 pounds on day 1 to slide into second place within striking distance of the leaders from Bethel University. And here's a look at the top 10 following day 1 of tournament competition at the Barnett Reservoir Rumble. Levi Mullins and Matthew Cummings from Bethel University are in first place with 15.11 pounds. Merritt Arnold and Chance Schwartz from the University of Montevallo are less than a pound back in second. And Mississippi State University's Eli Huey and Brody Kitchings round out the top 3 with 13.96 pounds.
That'll conclude day 1 coverage of the Barnett Reservoir Rumble. On the next episode of the Bass Pro Shops Collegiate Bass Fishing Series, we'll bring you day 2 action and crown a winner in the second to last event of the season for the Association of Collegiate Anglers. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. This has been a Careco TV production. This episode was made possible by these partners.
you let me see. Things you let me see.
Attention anglers, are you looking for soft tubes or craws? How about big jigs, little jigs, and shaky heads of all sorts and sizes? Do you want some sweet swim jigs that you can take all across the country? When's the last time you stocked up on frogs, wacky rigs, or big old lead shakers? Maybe you just need a few swim bait heads, finesse jigs, and some good old stupid tube jig heads. You'll find all that and more fishing gear when you go online and shop the entire selection of Secret Lures now.
Hey, 3 key rods that played a great deal in my success this year on the Bass Pro Tour Trail was the 7'4" multi-spin spinning rod in our lithium series. Another rod that I used a lot this year was our 7'2" Covart heavy action rod. Last but not least is our lithium 884 in the heavy action. So check them out. Denali rods, I think you'll be happy with the success you receive from them.
We don't have a large laboratory to test baits. Why, you ask? We don't need a big laboratory because our pros fish, our employees fish, our owners fish, and our kids fish. This is our laboratory. Our R&D comes from time on the water. All that time on the water brings us thousands of hours of testing new products and improving current ones for all species. Big Bite Baits, designed to bring the big bite to your line. From sun up to sundown, day in and day out, we work hard. We play hard. And to keep us going during those long hours, we demand performance. Angle Coolers, the original high-performance cooler.
Fishing is all about connecting with nature. Then grabbing nature by the lip and holding it up for a picture.
Maybe you're the outdoor type. Or perhaps you prefer adventures of the indoor variety. Either way, Ridgeland has you covered. So take some time to explore Ridgeland, inside and out. Plan your trip today at visitridgeland.com.